Hello and welcome friends. In this unit up till now we have discussed the various stages of the system development life cycle, and you have now understood that the system analyst is a very important entity who basically is a bridge between the users and the system designer, right? So this system analyst is a very crucial resource whenever a system is being designed, and that is why we need to understand a little bit about the attributes that a system analyst got to have, right? So let us discuss these attributes which are required in a system analyst. Number one, he should have customer knowledge. I hope you remember that the system analyst is basically a bridge between the system users, the customers, and the system designer. So in a way he understands the requirements of the customer and then he converts it into the technical language so that the system designer can understand it. So this is the job of the system analyst, and that is why he should have sufficient knowledge about the customer, because then only he would be able to communicate the exact customer requirement to the system designer. So he should know the knowledge, he should know the business processes at the customer end, at the client end, right? He should know how the client organization functions, what are the various business processes, and how the information system which is under planning should be serving the customer organization. So that is something that he should know about. He should have thorough understanding of the customer needs, not only the needs which are being stated by the customer, but also the needs which remain unstated. So he should try to investigate beyond what is being stated by the customer and find out what actually he requires from the new system. So this is number one requirement for a system analyst. But then he should also have technical skills, because now he is the bridge between the system user and the technical personnel, including the system designer, and he has to basically communicate to the system designer the exact requirements of the customers. And to be able to do that, he should also have some understanding of the technical aspects. He should also have technical skills, because then only he can translate the layman language in which the customer is expressing his requirements into the technical language which is required by the designer to design the system. So he should know about the system design and development, how the system is designed and developed. By development we mean the programming, the coding of the system programs. So that coding job, that software programming is being done by developers, right? So he should know about the analyst should know about the system design and development, what all processes are involved in system design and development. And he should also have good understanding of the information and communication technologies, and it would be a good idea if he has some programming experience, right? Because then, since now if he knows about the customer and also knows about a little bit about the technicalities involved in system designing, then probably he would be able to act as a conduit between the two, between the customer and the design personnel. And that is one attribute which is required in system analyst. Many a times what happens, please understand, these kind of jobs are reserved for those engineers who have already had 5, 6, 8 years of experience in system development and design, and then they are made to work as system analyst. They are given some training on dealing with the customer, or maybe they go for their MBAs, they complete their MBAs, and then they come back and they are hired as system analysts, because now they have a background in software designing and development, and because of their MBA or because of their special training imparted to them on how to satisfy the customer, now they are able to perform the job of the system analyst in a very efficient manner. So this is another attribute of a system analyst that is very much important. right? And then apart from these two basic attributes, the system analyst needs to have soft skills, because he will have to be in continuous touch with the customer as well as the technical personnel. So naturally he requires communication skills, which means he should not only be good at speaking or presenting himself, but he should also be good at listening and comprehending what the other person is saying, because many a times, as I said already, the customers may not be able to vocalize all their requirements. So now it is left for the system analyst to understand, to go beyond what the customer is saying, to find out what he actually wants from the system. He should have interpersonal skills, then only he'll be able to interact, and he'll be able to build a rapport with the customer as well as the designer, and he'll be able to work with them as a team, and he'll be able to bring out the best in the designer, and he'll be able to satisfy the customer in the best possible manner. Then the problem skills are also very, very important, the problem solving skills, because please understand, every requirement of the customer is basically a problem which has to be solved by the information system. So naturally, now since this system analyst understands the requirement of the customer, now he should be able to understand how this particular requirement can be satisfied. This is what we mean by problem solving skill. Now this is basically a problem for the system analyst. The customer requirement is a problem for the system analyst, which he has to solve, which he has to suggest solution for. So problem solving skills are very, very important. It may so happen that the customers might be in the habit of performing a particular function in a particular manner, but through information system they can perform the same function in a far more efficient manner. So though they might not be actually expressing this requirement of a new information system altogether, but if the new information system comes that would help them to do the same function in a more efficient manner, and in that sense would be able to satisfy them. So for this kind of an understanding, to understand what solutions are going to satisfy the customers, what solutions are going to solve the problem being faced by the customer, you need problem solving skills as a system analyst. Then naturally he should he should be ethical and value driven. He should not try to cut corners. He should not try to dupe the customer. He should try to satisfy the customer to the extent possible, and in case it is simply not possible for him and the designer to satisfy the customer, they should let the customer know this, rather than simply promising the customer and not being able to deliver on the promise. So this kind of ethical conduct is expected from the system analyst. He should also, for example, if the system analyst is promising that the customer problems would be solved by this information system, and the information system would be ready for implementation in 3 months, he should actually be able to respect that deadline. He should be able to complete the information system implementation within the deadline promised by him. So he has to behave in a very ethical fashion, because then only the customer would come again, and customer would give him repeat business, or his firm repeat business. And then he should also have system orientation. I forgot this point. What do we mean by system orientation? I hope you remember our discussion on system approach and what we mean by system. System basically orientation means that you are not thinking of a particular part. You are thinking about the whole. You are always prioritizing the whole. So you are not thinking of just a small part. You are thinking of the whole. For example, if the customer wants some kind of an HR information system, the system analyst should understand, he should understand that the customer requires, as the customer organization, the client organization requires an information system for the HR department, but that particular information system should also fit in with the client organization's business processes, should also fit in with the client organization's business strategy. So this kind of system orientation is very, very important in a system analyst, right? So these are the attributes which are required by the system analyst, and as I've told you, I've also given you a brief background of the kind of experience and the kind of qualifications which are expected from the system analyst, right? Now